Gods and goddesses in training, welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Today we're talking all about how to handle spiritual challenges and initiations, either from your guides or from the universe, okay? Maybe you're looking for some walkthroughs or cheat codes or spiritual hacks of this video game called life. What I've observed is it really depends on your state of mind, okay? Your mindset is the number one thing that is going to help you to go from one challenge to another challenge and then to speed up timelines eventually. Okay, so right now, as you guys see, I am in Sarnath. Beautiful place, okay, in this little homestay, and just had kocheries with paneer and some really good food here. It's Jain food here, so it's very interesting. But yeah, let's get started with today's video. What I want you to do, if you're new to the channel, hit like and subscribe, support the algorithm, man. Tickle that shit for me, okay? And let's get started, okay? The number one thing you want to understand is the mindset, right? So if you have a very strong mindset, like we have a mindset that goes, it's showtime all the time, which means what? There's no praising, there's no seeking, there's no hiding, there's no coming up with justifications, there's no excuses and rationalizations. There's none of that, right? Because it's showtime all the time, right? I can get up as a freestyle shaman and improvise, right? I can improvise exactly the way that my spontaneous nature allows me to. And that mindset has actually helped me. Another mindset that we teach in Primal Sutra is the idea of embrace, appreciate, and apply, right? Because there's gonna be a lot of times on the spiritual path where you don't understand what the fuck is going on, right? And you have to actually slow it down, reconvene with yourself, reflect on what has happened, apply what you've learned, have gratitude that it's happening actually and that you're on this process, and savor it, embrace it. So I think that's a really, really key. I just gave you two examples. I'll give you one more, okay? One more example, one more mindset. This one I learned very early on from my mentor AZD, but also from Emil Coué, okay? Emil Coué was this man back in the days, and he used to be one of the old school self-help guys, one of the original affirmation guys, auto-suggestion guys. And he used to say every day, in every way, is getting better and better, right? So we have something similar where we call ourselves the Upward Spiral Gang, right? And in the Upward Spiral Gang, it's about getting better and better and better each day. It's about evolution, 1% better each day, right? You're just putting in the time to create that compound interest, right? Over time, it's going to be incredible and immense for you once you fully, understand these three mindsets. So having said that, the next one is you have to watch out for the temptations and the distractions. Your guides might actually be testing you, or situations might be testing you with different distractions that bring you away. You remember in the Matrix movie, right? The woman with the red dress was a distraction, right? Pulled him away. That understanding is very, very powerful, especially if you work with trickster beings like Loki, like, Heyoka, like, Hermes. I work with Hermes personally. He gives me a lot of illusions to work through, right? Little codes and puzzles to work through. So you have to kind of have that little bit of that analytical mind when it comes down to it, which is actually a paradox, because you think that on a spiritual path, I always have to be, completely in my right brain all the time. Well, actually, we can create some structure around this, right? And make it so practical and easy, because to make things more concise, our mind loves that, right? Because if we make it too overly, now, I love going into the complexities, and spiritual journey is also about complexities, right? As I posted the other day, like, we don't want to live in fear all the time, right? Like terrorism does that to us, where we just stay in our homes or something, right? And we avoid going out to different places just because of the fear of like a riot or like something like this, right? So in a similar way, you can't live in fear, like, oh, these beings are coming after me, or they're going to do something bad. Like, that's going to create those negative circumstances, because again, it's happening through an interplay within your psyche, right? So you have to really speak to these beings, or take these leaps of faith where you understand that you're going to figure it out, right? You're going to figure it out, and you're going to learn from these mistakes. And remember, the mistakes are the missed takes of the movie, so they don't really count. It's just how you interpreted it at the end of the day, okay? Let your mind not cling to that karmic repercussion and have it playing like a movie in your mind. Instead, you become an empty-minded shaman, neo-shaman, right? Don't let other people live rent-free in your head. It's not a good strategy for you to advance on the spiritual path. You gotta clean, let go, clean, let go, clean, let go, right? Purify, purify, clean, 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 let go, let go, let go. And eventually you'll start noticing that you're picking up all the pieces, right? Where you're not falling apart, right? Everything is falling into place. You gotta allow that, okay? I think there's a very fine line between asking for clarity and just surrendering your control entirely, right? So you want to surrender to the journey at times, but you also want to be very active and proactive about your spiritual choices and decisions that you make. So if you're like, I'm gonna be a vegetarian, don't just try it out for a week and then let it go, right? Just go through the process of actually you doing that, right? Maybe a month you try it out, right? Don't just give up so easily is what I'm saying, because you got to have that mental resilience, right? We got to be like David Goggins of the metaphysical world, bro. We're like the juggernauts of the spiritual realm. So we got to understand that we are going to get tested, right? And it's okay. It's okay to be tested. As long as you remain in your truth and in your own spiritual path, what can really test you? You're just speaking your truth, right? You're not there to hide anything or try to manipulate others or deceive others, right? That's when problems start happening. Right, when your own human ego comes in and tries to play this game along with your higher self, right? Where your higher self knows that this is meant to be and this is all that there is, and you know everything is an illusion. It's quite tough to actually embrace that in the real world, right? So this is one thing that I've realized is like, you know, a lot of people say that we live in a simulation, but understand that you are the simulator that is also adjusting the simulation, correct? It's not that you're stuck here. It's not that everything is just, you know, illusory. I mean, it is, right? Let's be honest, it is this Leela, this divine play. And there is room for growth. There is room for improvement, right? And you got to learn how to love yourself towards evolution. You got to know who you really are, right? By knowing who you really are, you have to let go of preconceived notions or past conditionings that are telling you that, no, I can't do that, I'm from this place, or yeah, my age, or yeah, my height, or yeah, man, this, yeah, my that. But I don't have such a big, rich spiritual background like you, Uncle Makara. What do I do then, right? You start small and you stack. What do you mean, right? It's like you go with it. You move with the energy. You don't doubt yourself. The energy of doubt is a very dark, demonic energy, man. You guys have to get this. The energy of hesitation and doubt, insecurities in your own mind, right? That's dark. That's not positive. That's not light. So we have to call it out for what it is, and then we slowly get our certainty back, right? As we hear the vroom vroom from out there, okay? We understand you have a vroom vroom internally as well. That's your anxiety. So you gotta let the vroom allow you to move, allow you to do things, allow you to go from one challenge into another challenge, right? And the way you do this, the way you complete challenges from certain, let's say that you have a challenge from a certain deity, right? Let's say that you're working with Ogmios, right? The god of binding, and you're like, he's telling you to write this project for your like online magazine or something, right? And he's telling you that you can only use words for this copywriting from this book, and he hands you a book. You can only use words from this book to create this now you're like, oh man, I have to create all of this, like, you know, this is gonna take so much of my time, like I can't do that, right? You're gonna think of all sorts of rationalizations and excuses to avoid doing that, right? However, once you can understand, how do I make this simpler? What does he really want from me, right? He wants me to remain playful and creative. He doesn't want me to just write it just like how I've been writing it. He wants me to try something different, right? In a new lane. This is why creativity and innovation is so valid and important, right? Because we start recognizing the power and the truth of that. So let's say that you take a picture of the book, go to ChatGPT, ask it to summarize it, you know, make it bullet points. From those bullet points, you hone it into one word or one sentence, right? And then you make it into a sigil, and then you move with it. This is cyber shamanism, right? This is the new age, guys. Everybody's moving faster than you. You can't be sitting there in the Birkenstocks and like your sandalwood and just like, you know, just be stuck. This is not that kind of spiritual path, my friends, okay? Hey there, man. Welcome to the channel. I'm so good for you to join us. Okay, that's King of Kerbo's energy more so. But that's not the energy we're trying to pull, right? I walk as if all of the elementals are within me and around me, but also I remain humbled by the absolute, by the all-knowing, by the creator, right? And so, of course, there's going to be times and challenges where I understand, woo, that was a close one, right? We understand a lot of times in our life where we have escaped by or skated past or just gotten something like that. That's all as a product of our guides that we work with, guys. They gave us that, maybe just that 0.1% difference that made us win in that scenario where we couldn't have broken through that plateau earlier, right? And so it's really good to work with these different energies. Like, for instance, you might be listening to a Shiva mantra, not even knowing the effects that's having on you. Why don't you keep a journal, right? Every time you listen to a mantra, you write down the effects that's having on you, so then you can formulate and actually understand how it's affecting you over time, right? I mean, of course, it's easier said than done. And of course, this path is going to bring complications. But that's the beauty of it. That's the joy of it. How much fun is a very easy puzzle that you have to solve, right? So if you look at your problem more so as a puzzle, right, and make it fun for you, then it becomes a super powerful, empowering path rather than one that, you know, that's pulling you different ways and distracting you in different ways, okay? So this is my advice to you, okay, whoever's listening. And remember, you can do a lot of things, okay? There's different banishings, and you can always ask us for help, right? Reach out to me, reach out to the tribe, the Sangha, you know? And slowly but surely, you'll start to find what works and what doesn't, okay? This is not about what is right or wrong. This is about, is this effective or is this ineffective? Is this virtuous or non-virtuous, okay? So once you understand that your guides want the best for you and they actually see you in your best light and they can access that quantum light very quickly, they can work with your astral light very quickly, right? Whereas you might need like 17 days to get something done, they can immediately see that within that span of time you need to do X, Y, Z and get it done, right? And so it might be almost like going against like a bully or like maybe a teacher that you're scared of, right? When you were younger or something like this. It might even feel like that. However, I think that it's so powerful to be able to stand in your own power and truth, honestly, you know? You know what's right for you, you know what's true for you. It's only if you're gonna speak your truth that you can suddenly start to change your ideas around it, right? Because if you're already fabricating and creating this weird facade like around that, then it's not really gonna serve you in the long term, right? Because then think about it like this, like your future lives, right? Your future lives, you have many, many, many future lives, countless future lives that depend on you right now, okay? You might not believe in reincarnation, you might think this is all it, okay? But then why is it that in this world we are so dependent on each other? Why is it that I need the gardener to take care of this environment in order for me to enjoy the luxury of being out in this nature, right? Somebody's taking care of this place, somebody's handling this place, right? I'm not just here as a byproduct of just me and going on holiday or something, right? I'm here on spiritual retreat. This is a refresh, a reset button for me. And as it's my birthday month, there's a lot of spiritual insight and download, and the veil is thinning because it's Halloween, right? That's coming up too. So a lot of great insights. You may feel a bit chaotic right now, but remember, organize the chaos, okay? Find the order and the harmony that can maintain and sustain the unpredictability of this entire journey, okay? I hope this helped you out today. If you have any other questions, feel free to message me. I'm headed back tomorrow, so we'll all get back into my regularly scheduled sessions and so forth. I know I have probably a bunch of backlog and people will probably overbook, but it is what it is, okay? Scarcity creates opportunity at times, okay? And we are limited edition, okay? Thank you to all of the Primal Sutra family. You guys have been absolute support, and may you never be the same again. May the flow be with you. Stay legendary, okay? Talk soon. I'll meet you guys in the astral. Osa.